Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your weekly reading for August 11th to the 17th. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right into it. Sagittarius, I missed y'all. Thanks so much for being here, and thank you so much for being so patient with me. I know last week it was the first time in 3 years since I started this channel that I wasn't able to do your weekly forecast. And if you've been seeing my live streams, there's, a big reason why. And I felt really bad, but, I'm calling it Uranus on my ascendant portal, like vortex, actually. I've been experiencing that. And again, if you've been seeing my live streams, there's a lot that's been happening, but thank you so much for all your patience and your kind messages and comments. It's been very helpful, and all your support. As some of you may know, Uranus came from my mind, then it came from my body. I'm still in physical therapy. So is Ruby. It's been, and you're gonna see me like doing things down here, up here. Uranus definitely came from my computer. It broke my computer, and so I'm still waiting for the new one. It's delayed. Yeah, I'm filming this while Mercury's retrograde. So kind of a fun little month for me, but here's the good, and Uranus came from my spirit, but didn't take my spirit. So here's the fun thing. Here's the good news is that we're past the two most challenging aspects of August. Okay, so that's really great. That would be Venus that was squaring Saturn and Neptune. Oh, you felt that. Okay, that was the first weekend of August. And then just recently, Mars opposite Saturn and Neptune. And last week, even though I couldn't do your weekly forecast, I couldn't leave you hanging, so I jumped on with some astrologer friends, Christian Klausner and S.J. Anderson, and we broke it down both aspects side by side. It was really fun. I'll leave those at the end of the video if you didn't see them, because those are still relevant. They're still playing a part of your storyline that's rolling out the rest of this month and even this week. I mean, and that's the other thing. Everything that you see here, first of all, it is the luckiest week of the month. You're going to see some big change. You're going to go through one of the biggest changes, and I'm going to tell you why. But don't forget, I dropped these forecasts a few days before the actual week. If you're watching it before the week begins, you're moving into the weekend with the full moon in Aquarius, with Mars opposite Saturn and Neptune, with Mars trine Pluto, Mars sextile. There's so much happening over that bonkers weekend. So definitely check out that video because we talk about it, okay? We talk about it. But yes, for this week, you're definitely moving past it. And it's now this is like your reward. Now this is your reward. And don't forget, we're still in Leo season. You still have the stage, right? The sun in Leo, and you see Mercury's going direct as well. So that's big news as well. But again, the biggest news of all is Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer in your 8th house. So let's get started. And the other thing that I'm going to tell you real quickly is that this is a week. There's so much emphasis here on destined moments, and North Node is so active, but so is Venus, so is Juno, and we'll talk about that. But just don't forget, you're still under the influence of the full moon in Aquarius that's going to play out this week. Just expect you're changing, okay? And we're talking radical change, okay? Gradual, but radical. And the reason why I'm bringing those two things up, the sun in Leo, Mercury in Leo. Yeah. We had the new moon in Leo just a few weeks ago. Now we have the full moon in Aquarius. And remember, I've been telling you, take all that inspired action now, this summer, this month, for where you want to be by February 2026. That's when we have the great reset, the Saturn Neptune conjunction in Aries at 0 degrees. It's never happened. That's a great reset. It's the world axis. Okay. In modern human history, we've never experienced it. That is also when we have the corresponding full moon in Leo in February. That's when we have the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. That's the year that the North Node moves into Aquarius and the South Node moves into Leo. So please pay attention to what happens this month. You're getting a glimpse of what your life is going to be like starting February next year and beyond. All right? Now, here's the other thing is, don't forget, you also still have that wonderful air trine. Yeah, that's locked in. Mars is in Libra. You know that. You saw your monthly forecast. Amazing. You're being very social. You're seeking a lot of truth and harmony and peace and diplomacy and relationships and friendships as well. Groups you belong to. And there's so much emphasis. You probably feeling very cerebral when it comes to your future hopes, your wishes, your long-term goals and dreams. But partnerships, definitely. Legal matters, definitely. All of that on the table for you. I would not be surprised if you're signing things, a lot of things around home and family, maybe leases, maybe you're buying property. You've got Mercury in Leo. We'll talk about this when Mercury goes direct, but that's your ninth house. And that has to do with, the courts and legal matters and the law. And you know this because you natively rule the ninth house. It's very spiritual, but there's a lot of stimulation that you're going to be leaving over the weekend, moving into this week, where there's still a lot of stimulation, but different type of energy. And you're definitely going to feel this fire in your belly. Now, Monday, August 11th, that's when we have Saturn sextile Uranus. I don't even know what to say for y'all. First of all, this is very fiery. It's fire and air, and it's at 1 degree. That degree of new beginnings, that initiator degree, sextiles being these windows of opportunity to help you thrive and prosper. And remember, this is Saturn and Uranus. It's part of that prism portal that I've been telling you about. It's rare AF. It hasn't happened since 1996. This perfection, the last time that when I saw people running on a track field, the Atlanta Olympics, 1996, where I'm from. And by the way, for y'all, Sagittarius, funny enough, Venus did square Saturn in Aries in 1996, 97. So there actually may be themes from around that time coming up now that has to do with true love, romance, family, children, creative projects, birth, having kids, sex, all of that. It's your fifth house. So just keep that in mind. Just remember Saturn sextile Uranus. They're two outer planets. And remember this prism portal for several years. It's longer than several years, but the next 2 years are the way you really feel it. And remember, there are peaks of it. This is a big peak. Saturn sextile Uranus. We'll have another one coming up. We'll obviously bring that up when we get there. But that prism portal, that minor grand trine that you're experiencing right now with Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries, which, by the way, is at 1 degree. It's strong in your fifth house, everything I just mentioned. Okay? So true love and romance is a big thing for you. Family is a big thing for you right now. You're asked to be this big leader. And it can be even in a parental role, in a creative role. But remember, that's sextile Uranus and Gemini and Pluto and Aquarius. And Uranus is trining Pluto. There's your pyramid right there. Right there. Uranus trine Pluto is big. That's big. A lot of you are getting married. If you haven't already, there's going to be some changes with contracts and agreements for sure. Okay? And so, or new ones for there's so much happening for you. But here's the other thing is that there is going to be on Monday, you're going to feel it. And again, it just feels they're outer planets. So just these undercurrents pushing you in the direction on your path to enlightenment, on your karmic journey. And you're going to be experiencing a lot more structured change. So that's what you're going to be seeking, as well as breakthroughs, your great awakening. Yeah. Remember, Saturn is retrograde. So a lot of this is you developing your inner wisdom and that having that great discipline and authority and even recognizing any limitations that you're putting on yourself. You got to have fun. You're a Sagittarius. So have those moments, all these changes happening inside you, and you're adapting to this new world that you're creating for yourself. So the biggest takeaway from this Monday, you are going through change and making new traditions for you. Out with the old, in with the new. I've been saying it every week. So you just have that in your consciousness that everything that's happening for you right now, it's non-negotiable. We're entering this new world, this new era, this new earth, this new you. And so old habits and patterns and, even traditions, they're changing. They're all going to start changing. And you can't hold on to the past anymore. That's what this is saying. And you're going to see that there's so much for you on the other side. And you get to decide what you want to bring. So anything that you intuitively know, Sagittarius, is not part of your new journey, let's start letting it go. All right. Remember, Uranus and Gemini is asking you to be your authentic self, especially when it comes to partnerships and relationships. That's you and only you. And contracts, legal matters. Uranus is all about breakthroughs. Yeah. Your authentic self, freeing your mind, and all about change. Don't resist change. All right. That's going to be a big theme for you. Now, you will also have the moon conjunct the North Node in Pisces this day. It's very spiritual, but there's a lot of emphasis on home and family for you. Even real estate, property matters, ancestry, significant other, parents, children, all of that. Now, Tuesday, August 12th. Wow. You got Venus conjunct Jupiter. Here it is. It's happening in Cancer at 14 degrees. And as I said in your monthly forecast, this is rare. You get it once a year, our annual gift from the universe. Now, because I talked about your monthly forecast, check that out. I'm going to tell you a couple things I didn't say. Last month, remember, we had no Jupiter aspects. And that is kind of a big deal for you, Sagittarius, with Jupiter being your ruler, right? We did not have Jupiter conjunct Venus in 2013. Jupiter, remember, it's a 12-year orbit. What we did have was Venus conjunct Jupiter in 2001 to 2003. And it is in your 8th house. So, once again, this is deep. This is deep for you. So ask yourself what happened for you 2001 to 2003 that had to do with your personal transformation. The 8th house is rebirth, yeah? Or taxes, or sex, yeah? Or relationship building, wealth building, money, inheritance, investments, bonuses, commissions, paying off debts, loans, royalties. All of that's part of the 8th house. All of that's part of the 8th house. Your personal evolution, your personal revolution. There's big change, big change. You're going through that again. And remember, Jupiter and Venus are the benefics. They're bringing you this great change. So out of all the signs, this week for you, Sagittarius, remember Jupiter's your ruler, conjuncting with Venus. And so I want you to see this as a seeding point. Now, remember what I said. We didn't get this 12 years ago. What's really interesting, we have it today. And remember, I said it's a conjunction. So again, consider it a seeding point for a whole year. No? Something being planted for you now. For a whole year, you're going to watch it grow. We have it again, August 2026. And it's going to be at 25 degrees, but that's 2 years, just like 2001 to 2003. And this, again, this is a 2-year manifestation. This is 2 years in your 8th house. Big, because Jupiter's your ruler. This has a lot to do with you. And Jupiter natively rules, your 4th. So home and family, your domestic sector, the foundations of your life. That's a part of this too, because here's the big thing. You got the North Node there right now until next year. So you've got a lot to look forward to in terms of you are having, and maybe I'll make this the big theme for next week. You're having your breakfast club moment. You saw every single one of those kids, all of those students, when they walked in that school, when they walked out, they were completely different people. Completely different people. They were the best versions of themselves. They were their authentic selves. That's what's happening for you, okay? That's what's happening for you. And love and relationships and sex and money. You're going to be making a lot of money. This is wealth building. And you have Jupiter here that expands and is abundance. And you have Venus here, which rules money. But here's the thing, Sagittarius, that I'm excited to tell you about. This is a triple conjunction because you got Venus and Jupiter, but also the fixed star Sirius. Now, we talk about the fixed stars, asteroids, planetoids, lunations, all that in the second spread. But this is so big, everybody's got to know. Sirius, fixed star, the brightest star in the sky, the dog star, right? The wealth star, the star of fame and success, and yes, even spiritual growth through your material world. I mean, this is huge. This is really big. It's Venus and Jupiter. Like I said, this is love and abundance and good fortune and expansion and wisdom and blessings, all triple amplified. It's like a triple jackpot here. And conjunctions, they're already strong on their own. And Jupiter is exalted in Cancer where it does its best for you. This is unforgettable. This is prosperity. This is lucky breaks. And yes, home and family is still a big thing for you. There's going to be some change. And finances and money. Like I said, Venus isn't just love, it's money too. With Jupiter, again, expansion. Jupiter also represents profit. And with Sirius here, wealth, serious wealth. Wow. That's heaven on earth. I want you, Sagittarius, look at me, okay? Look, joking. I want you to please treat this as like a new moon. Treat this as an eclipse. Do something here. Launch something. Put your energy out there. If you're single, it's in your 8th house. If you're in a relationship, there's growth. There, a lot of y'all, this is like when you get proposed to as well, or if you're going steady with someone, Jefferson over there, whatever's in, it's the next step. You're going to see some big growth. All right. So I'm very excited for you. I'm very, very, very excited for you because there's so much luxury and pleasure here and opulence. It's really special that we get to experience this. Right. And remember, it's for 2 years, but you're going to see things happen on this day. Some of you are going to see things happen within the week, within the next few weeks. Some of you are going to see, and I say this all the time. When I say plant seeds, you can't plant a seed and expect a tree the next day. But when you got an aspect like this, some of you will. All right. Some of you will. And you definitely will have some spiritual downloads for sure. So the other thing is, don't forget like all the other aspects that are happening during this time too. I mean, it really is. There's something major happening here this week. Now, the other thing is that, oh yeah, the moon being the moon's going to be in Pisces. I really like that. The moon will conjunct Pisces. I think I already talked about that, but we'll talk more about it in the second spread. So here's the thing. If you're a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising or your moon, or for your, sister, your husband, or your neighbor, whoever it is, all the cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, will feel this the most. But if you know your natal chart, your birth chart, if you have any planets in any of those signs between 12 to 16 degrees, you're going to feel it the most. You get so much of this. You're very lucky. All right. Now, on that same, and we got some more great aspects coming up, by the way. On that same day, Mercury is going direct. More great news. So remember, Mercury's going direct, no longer retrograde, still going to be in Leo for the rest of the month. It's at 4 degrees. It's very interesting for y'all. It just feels like you're ready now, with Mercury going direct. There's a lot of, you're going to have a lot of conversations. There are a lot of delays that you're experiencing, especially like the fact that Leo rules your 9th house. Again, that's your home. You rule the 9th house. There could have been some things here that had to do with education or learning or teaching or something that, maybe there was a little bit of just like a delay in terms of your spiritual growth. There could have been something here as in travel related as well, book publishing, broadcasting. Those are all part of the 9th house. But the biggest thing here is like now you can travel. Now you can really travel. And I'm only saying that because there could have just been like maybe you had tried planning a trip, but there were just things were not working out. It's like now you got, the green light, right? With Mercury going direct. And so what's really interesting is Mercury's just going to be at this 4 degree mark for a little bit. And so I do want you to think about December 19th to the 25th of last year, because that's when Mars was retrograde in Leo at 4 degrees. And I want you to think about April 28th to the 30th of this year, okay? And that's when Mars went direct in Leo. And so Mercury's picking up those vibes from the things that you wanted to do at that time that you couldn't because of the retrograde. And so Mercury, remember, I told you when Mercury goes direct this month, it's going to be like a bullet train. Whoosh, okay? And so, again, that Leo story that I told you about, it started last year. And at the end of this month, when Mercury leaves Leo, Venus is going to go into Leo. So again, this Leo story is not done for you. Yeah? And it's going to be amplified next year. And it is your 9th house, and that's your house. So very spiritual. It's your belief system, it's self-belief, it's wisdom, inner wisdom. It's your philosophy is how you see things. But again, book publishing could be a big thing here, as well as, broadcasting, like maybe the podcast you wanted to start, and you got the green light now. All right. Now, the other thing is that there is going to be, and you see I got a bigger whiteboard too. Yeah. Uranus on my ascendant. See, it's good stuff too. There's some change for you. The other thing that I was going to say is that Monday, and 4 degrees, by the way, just real quickly, because you do have your North Node in Pisces, all right, in your 4th house. 4 degrees is Cancer's degree. So the fact that this is happening on the day of Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer, 4 is all about stability and foundations. And even if you want to go really deep, like we're going to go to like the school of Pythagoras, 4 was the order of the universe. And of course, the moon rules Cancer. And there's 4 phases of the moon. So all this Cancerian energy, your 8th house, there really is something here. And there's like y'all, those synchronous, like you're going to see those little wings from the universe. Because I'm looking at what's happening for you. The moon moves into Aries on this day, on Tuesday, Wednesday as well. The moon will trine the sun. That's fiery AF. This is energy. This is optimism. This is emotions, feelings, spirited, very entrepreneurial. It is your 5th house. And so there's something here that's really fun for you. Very exciting. And remember, Juno is trining the North Node. So again, there's something here that you're seeking truth and justice and that balance of power and fairness in partnerships, relationships, contracts. We'll talk about it later. August 14th. There you go. Mercury sextile Mars in Libra at 4 degrees. At 4 degrees. And remember, and I'm not going to spend too much time here. I talked about this in your monthly forecast. This is super rare. We don't get it often. Mercury and Mars, they move really fast. And so what's happening here, they're traveling together because remember, Mercury's just kind of like hovering at that 4 degree point, and then it's just going to be like, do. Yeah. And traveling with Mars. So on August 14th, you have this sextile. Again, that window of opportunity. You're going to have it again on the 18th, but they're traveling together for about 10 days. So an aspect where you have Mercury and Leo, sextile Mars and Libra, that you feel for like a hot second, 2 days tops, you're getting it for about 10 days here. That's a big window of opportunity. Okay. And Mars and Libra, remember, that's your 11th house of your future hopes, wishes, long-term goals, and dreams. Mercury, the communicator, the messenger. You better network. You better put yourself out there. This is fast and furious. This is Mercury's only aspect this month. And this is being very quick, and this is being very clever. This is a lot happening for you. Big focus on, friendships, groups you belong to, community, as well as like marriage and partnerships and contracts, exchanging vows of love. Negotiations is a big thing here too. Okay. Writing projects, pitching, flirting, all of that, networking, being very persuasive. You're going to be very funny, Sagittarius. Do you consider yourself funny? You're going to be these 10 days. A lot of comedians just happen to have like Mercury sextile Mars. It's very interesting, but it is that quick-witted, that, like that kind of energy that that you're going to feel. Anyway, who's going to feel that aspect the most? Well, it's going to be the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and you. And if you know your natal chart, if you have any planets between 2 to 6 degrees in any of those signs, yeah, you're really going to feel it. Now, Friday, August 15th, this is when Venus in Cancer is going to trine the North Node in Pisces. But it's also going to sextile the South Node. And this is at 18 degrees. And so it's kind of a big deal. And 18, by the way, 1 plus 8 equals 9. We know we're in the year of 9. This is all about fulfillment and endings and completion. Remember, out with the old, in with the new. It's the North Node. And with Venus, there's something destined here in terms of relationships and love and wealth for you in a big way, in a really big way. And again, a lot of home and family stuff. A lot of home and family stuff. In fact, there may be something here with health and work as well, because the moon will be in Taurus this day. And the fact that you have Jupiter, you've got Jupiter exalted in Cancer, you have the moon exalted in Taurus. So they're going to sextile. And Venus is Taurus's ruler. Yeah? And the moon rules Cancer. So you have this amazing mutual reception. So again, we'll talk about in the second spread, but there's just so much happening. So much happening. And yes, there's here we go. It's gonna be, I'm gonna launch it this week, okay? August 12th is the target date. It's a target date. And I am going to do a live stream walking you through it again because it's a little bit different. There's a lot more added to it. You can go to the website now if you want, but I'm going to walk you through it like August 9th or 10th. So look out for that video. All right. So y'all are amazing. Sagittarius, thank you so much. I will see you. Wait, no, I'm doing your spread. Mercury retrograde. Sagittarius, let's get started. Let's see what is going on for you for August 11th to the 17th. Sagittarius. Sun, moon, and rising. Sagittarius. And again, the computer thing here, I have to just... All right, there we go. And then now we're set. And it should, hopefully, it should be arriving today now, my new computer, so we won't have to do the setup. How are y'all doing? I do a traditional cult across spread, offers the best overview. If we need a, especially for a weekly reading, and if we need to pull clarifiers, you know we will. I'm feeling that I might need to pull 1 or 2 for you already, but Sagittarius, you know I love y'all. Let's get started. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, there's something here, but interesting. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You got this. Yeah. Okay. So there's gonna be change. Okay, just want you to know that. I told you that already, but you got the Hierophant, which is really great. And again, I really love this because, you know, the week that Mercury goes direct, I feel like it's almost like there's like you feel complete. You feel that you're going to feel that. You're going to feel that everything is finally like there's no speed bumps. And again, a lot of it with how you see things, your belief system, all that inner wisdom. There could have been things that happened while Mercury was retrograde that tested your self-belief, that challenged you in some way. So I love the fact that the Hierophant did come up, and this is really great because he's almost like a bridge himself, like a bridge maker, like a path maker himself between the divine, and our physical world. You see the 2 people at his feet. This is the first card in the major arcana where, you know, other people appear other than the main figure. And I already told you got Mars and Libra. That's amplified. So you should be networking. That should be something that you're doing. You should be maybe on a little bit more Zoom calls or sending out more emails or being on social media a lot, to be honest, because Mars and Libra in your 11th. But you also have like, you know, full moon in Aquarius that's highlighting your 3rd house anyway. So again, there could be some things that are just changing right off the bat for you, okay? But you're, again, being in a position where you feel you have your spiritual strength back, and you're feeling that leader inside you, and people are following you and listening to you. And if not, make them by being who you are, by having those spiritual downloads. Okay, be that influential person, and you have it in your chart, like you want it. So, and what's happening for you right now. So, I really love this. You've got that Two of Pentacles. So I feel like there is something here where it's like you've got this spiritual power back, right? And you have that Two of Pentacles in the heart of your spread. So there is going to be a big decision that you may make. And there is a sense of like imbalance that comes with the Two of Pentacles. It can be with work. It can be with career. It can be with money. It's Pentacles. It's finances. It just happens to be a Capricorn card. And Capricorn rules your second house of finances and money. Okay. But second house is also, if you're not here for money, Pentacles are your physical realm as well. Okay. And your second house is also self-worth. It's self-value. It's material possessions. It's things in your physical world. So there could be something here that you're choosing between, or you're going to come to a point where you have to, with Venus conjuncting Jupiter, because there's something there that, again, it's almost like this rebirth. It's in your 8th house, and it could be very personal to you because the 8th house can be really deep. And there can be some things that are unearthed, like parts of you that are coming out. Remember your Breakfast Club moment, right? And so it's all about finding that balance. And in some cases, some of y'all remember when I say out with the old, in with the new. It's almost like, oh, I really don't want to leave this behind. You gotta. If it's something that you intuitively feel it's not part of your new journey, all right? If not completely leaving it behind, there's going to be some adjustments you're going to have to make, all right, to find that balance. Travel is coming up for y'all. There's something with travel, yeah. And it is in your, it's going to be a thing for a lot of y'all. All right. There may be something there, just an FYI. But the bigger picture is focusing on that balance. Look, you got the Justice card in your challenge area. And so in a week where there's so much focus on partnerships for you, on relationships, on legal matters, on the courts, yeah, this Libra energy, Mars and Libra as well. When you got Justice, when you got that judge in your challenge area, there may be something here where there is an ending, okay? There may be something here where there is something where it's just, you have that moment. You're like, okay, this is, I've been going steady with Chad. I don't know if I feel it, so, okay? And it can be in any type of relationship. Remember that it doesn't have to be strictly love. It can be something with, career, work, but you've got to make that decision. You got to be on top of it. You already, look at that. You got that 6 of Wands in your crown. Yeah, that's amazing. That's achievements. That's honors. That's, public recognition, all of that. But there's something here that's just, it really is asking you, out with the old, in with the new. Let's make some adjustments to prepare for this big change that you're about to go through, because you have that conjunction in your 8th house, which can be really strong. All right. So you got to be prepared for that. And there could be some new opportunities that's coming through. You've got to make room for that, is one of the reasons why I keep saying out with the old. You got to make room for all this new. And again, it's up to you. You trust your intuition. Yeah. At the end of the day, you trust your intuition. You're going to be fine. But with the 5 of Cups and the root of your spread, there is something here where it really is, we have got to let the past go. Okay? There may be something here where it really is like you have to take that action, and there may be someone here in your life where it's them that's like, okay, we're ending this contract, or we're ending this, right? And so that could be a little bit of like, that's what you're adjusting to as well. But you can't hold on. Look at what you've got, that 6 of Wands in your crown. And so that really amplifies this 5 of Cups energy, because there is almost a disconnect with what's happening up here in your crown and the root of your spread. And in the root of your spread, you have that 5 of Cups, which is, hey, look at the figure looking at the past. Look at the spilled cups. They're spilled. They're done. They're done. You're not going to drink that wine off the ground. you got those 2 cups full behind you. Okay? You can pick them up. Carry them home. That bridge connects your past with your future. Remember, it's all about moving forward, yeah, and letting the past go, out with the old, in with the new. And so there is a sense of really taking on some new responsibilities. It may be a thing with, especially when we get to like October, November for you, Sagittarius, like new responsibilities or even like old responsibilities you're returning to, where it's almost like a last check-in. Like, do you really want this in your life? That kind of energy for you to move forward, because again, you got a lot to look forward to this week. But if you're looking back at the past, how are you going to see what's in front of you, right? And so you can even see the water going under the bridge. So there may be some emotional healing that you're doing this week, and you got that 5 of Swords in your future. And so we really have to find that balance. We really have to figure out we're going to have to make that adjustment this week for what we have, what we're looking forward to. All right. But with that 5 of Swords in your future, this person isn't, the most likable. He has a smug, great, like he's, a little naughty. And this is someone who you can see the people walking away from that person. And so it's the actions that he's taking that's having this impact on other people, to the point where he could lose as much as they did just by his lack of empathy, that love. So just keep that in mind. I'm not saying it to you. I'm saying that's a card. I'm saying there may be some not seeing eye to eye. All right. In the future. It starts here. It actually starts here. But when you get that spiritual strength, it's still like, okay, that's great. That's in store. But then we come to your physical realm. We come to things that are happening within your world, circumstances, as well as money and wealth, and maybe even jobs and careers, and choosing one or the other. Or maybe there is something that happens where it's like, okay, I have no idea what just happened, because I thought I was going for, getting this raise or promotion, or maybe getting this job, but they're going to have to find that balance. And again, there just may be so much that's happening. Yeah. Where if you're still focusing on, he's stuck, he's moving back, he's stuck, but then you got the 6 of Wands and crown, and that's very spiritual. That's your direction. You want to think about that as the North Node? There you go. North Node right there. All right. So interestingly, this is a Leo card anyway. 9th house. Rules your 9th house. Spirituality, your belief system, your perspective, how people see you or how you see things. And so it's more about this disconnect. What's happening with your mind, what's happening with your heart. In the middle, it's like there's things that you're going to have to adjust to, sort out, or adjust yourself. Let's get to your stuff. Sagittarius. And yeah, I'm going to pull some clarifiers, but this computer keeps turning dark, and Sagittarius, if you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what's going on. You have a lot going on. That 8th house is deep, and it's only you and only you, right? Venus conjuncting Jupiter right there. So it's like, again, there may be also something new that you're coming into right here, and it's just going to be a little bit of like an adjustment coming into it. All right. A new situation, because you're already being pushed into this new world. Like I said, this new era, this new you. Let's see what's going on. Yeah. You're going to be fine, but you're really going to have to change the way that you're seeing something. And I'm going to tell you why. Well, first you got the Page of Swords, and you also got the Ace of Swords. Swords are up here, right? It's the mental suit. It's ideas, it's decisions, it's processing things. It's everything that you're thinking about too. But Page of Swords, yeah, that's a page, fresh new energy that comes with that page. That's the swords. So this fresh new way of thinking is what you need. And that's why you see the two pentacles, they're bound by the symbol of infinity. You could be in this situation for a really long time, but that's why you have Uranus and Gemini. Gemini is the mind, that wake up call, that breakthrough. You're going to have to come out of this. There's something that has to change. Yeah. And it's, again, circumstances that may happen that you have to see it in a different way. And that's what's happening here with that Ace of Swords and external factors area. And there's got to be a big breakthrough. And it is more of like this mental breakthrough with it being swords. And you see the crown here. This is victory. It's the biggest sword in the deck. I mean, that's a lot of power. And so use this. It's saying there is this new journey for you. You've got to change what's up here. That's all it's saying. All right. And that's going to bring you that big Mercury direct, Venus conjunct Sirius and Jupiter moment. There's something that's got to change because, again, there is a big disconnect here. And part of that change is letting go of the things that you're holding on to that I even said before I even pulled the cards for you. Now you have the Hanged Man. And so there you go. There's another card where it's saying you've got to change the way that you're seeing things, the way the Hanged Man did. The reason why the Hanged Man is hanged upside down, and he put himself there, by the way, he put himself there, is because he's looking forward to change, to have this big, great transformation. You do see the halo around his head, all that enlightenment. You see the smile on his face, right? And in order to have this change, you have to make a big surrender the way that he did, all right? And it just seems like there's a refusal here. You're just staying in one place here. You're looking back here. He's changed everything. He's made sacrifices to have this big transformation for himself. He wasn't afraid. Queen of Cups, you're going to be fine. I call her like the Princess Diana of tarot. So much love. Yeah. Does what her heart desires. People love her. People adore her. And she has all this self-love too. And that's where everything starts. Yeah. And with the Five of Cups here, there may be some emotional healing that you might be doing this week. But when you do that, and I, talked about this last week, did I tell you this? S.J. Anderson, I had some astrologer friends join me for these, we went through every zodiac sign for some of the aspects that are happening. And I told you Venus square Saturn and Neptune was a big one for you. That's in your 5th house and your 8th. Oh, that has to do with love and partnerships and love and true love and partnerships. And then you had Mars opposite Saturn. I mean, that's another really big deal. But anyway, it all starts with self-love. And sometimes, there can be moments where we go through a lot of emotional challenges or things like heartbreak and heartache. But sometimes we need that, because if we don't have that, how do we know how to heal and self-heal and love ourselves again, right? It just makes us stronger. And so there is something here where it's like there may be something. When I say fated, it may be a fated event, but it's for you, okay? And that's why I don't want you to get into look at what did I talk about him? Look at him too. He's looking back too, right? And so looking back at this situation, and so it's all about moving forward and not holding on to any grudges or getting upset at yourself for something that happened or taking things out on other people. Should anything happen, again, you're gonna be like a whip when it comes to Mercury sextile Mars, like quick-witted and right. And a lot of friends are involved here, by the way, and groups you belong to. It is your 11th house. Yeah, so how much time we got for you? I'm going to pull some clarifiers. Okay. Sagittarius, I wanted to see the 2 challenge cards, the 5 of Swords and 5 of Cups. Let me start with the 5 of Cups. Wow. Yeah. So you see your wake up call here, right? Like if you don't let go of the past, that's a big wake up call. This card is attributed to Mars. Okay, the Tower. And then, even Uranus and Gemini, that is in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships and contracts and marriage. And Uranus, I've always said, is a sky god, but he's like lightning. It's like lightning striking, and you see lightning striking the crown off the tower. Crown can represent ego. We are in Leo season, where I told you the lower expressions can be like pride and ego. You got Mercury in Leo. Okay, let's see that one too. Yeah. We gotta let some things go. You've just gotta let some things go. And be okay with it. Be okay with it. I'm gonna see that Two of Pentacles. There you go. Knight of Pentacles. That's great. That's amazing. So you see what happens when you adjust, make adjustments where if there's this big, you got to balance work and, home or this relationship or your friends or whatever it is, there's got to be some sort of adjustment. But at the same time, with the Justice card in your challenge area with Mars and Libra, which can be really strong, and it's not, Mars is detriment there anyway. So it can be a little decisive or like indecisive energy, but even like passive aggressive energy. It just feels like there's something here not aligning with what you thought would happen or would come to fruition. But all of that can change as long as you do what I said right here with making those adjustments and not holding on to the past and anything that happens. Look at that. You got the Knight of Pentacles clarifying that Two of Pentacles. There's something here for the long term. Okay. That's the Knight of Pentacles. Knights are all about action. He's planted so many seeds. That's the thing. You can have more than one thing. That's the biggest field in tarot right here. Plant a lot of seeds, and he's going to reap his rewards. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Yeah, I said you got Venus conjuncting Jupiter. It's a 2-year process. It's 2-year manifestation, and it has to do with not only love and money, but it's your 8th house, which is love and money, but your personal transformation. But at the same time, this is someone who is taking his time, and his life is going to completely transform because he was very disciplined. To go slow and steady wins a race. Yeah. So, and it's think about like what you're investing your time and energy into with Venus, Jupiter, and Sirius conjuncting in your 8th house. Okay, because remember that goes really deep, but there is this sense of investing your time and energy into this partnership, into your actual investments, which is part of the 8th house. And everything changes. And then that 10 of Wands, that's just like a lot of heavy energy. And you can see, like I said, he's looking at the past. He's looking back. This person's like just stuck in one place. But then you got the 10 of Wands where he doesn't even know where he's going. He's carrying so many wands. And so there's an element of like, just kind of like, we've got to see, we got to move forward. Okay, in order to move forward, you got to let go of some things. Think of like the past, like just all these little bells of anchors weighing you down. You got to let some of those go, right? And you got to clear the way for your path forward, especially with that 10 of Wands. But 10 is the end, which is great. And it is your card. I hope you know that. It's Moon in Sagittarius is what it's attributed to. So there's something here where it's like, are you taking on too much? Is there a reason why you're taking on too much? Do you feel like there's a lot of responsibilities you're taking on? Is there a real, like, will you go deep and see if it's you taking on a lot of responsibilities and doing a lot of work? Or is it you distracting yourself from something, right? Who knows? Let's see one more. All right. And then you have the 2 of Wands, which is really great because there is a sense of like achievement. It's really aligning with the 6 of Wands. He's got the world in his hand. This card is actually attributed to Mars and Aries, so it's really strong. Remember, Mars rules Aries. And so there is a sense of like, yes, like I'm standing at the top of the castle. I have a great view now. Coming after that 10 of Wands where he can't even see. That's perfect. You drop a wand or two, right? You be honest with yourself right here. Yeah. There's something that is going to change, but it clears away. And then you have a lot of power. You make these decisions and you got the best view. Okay. Of your future. And you can plan and you got some big breakthrough happening anyway. You got to want it, though. You got to really want that breakthrough. But a lot of it requires seeing things in different ways. That's the biggest thing for you. And like I said, with Mercury retrograde in Leo, in your ninth house of your belief system and how you see things anyway, again, it's almost like, yeah, maybe there is going to be a lot more clarity you get this week. And in that clarity, you see things that has to go. Or there are some moments, again, it's a week where there's destined events, some moments that happen that you have to see why it happened and why it's good for you rather than holding on to the past, okay? And of course, every Sagittarius is going to feel this in different ways, but you do have a lot to look forward to. This is bringing, and that's aces, new beginnings, new opportunities. You do have a lot, like that third house energy. You've got, again, this is also like signing contracts, or there's some big new venture here, writing, things that have to do with communication, big, brilliant ideas that come through that carry you forward. Again, there's all these wonderful things you could ask for. Even the Queen of Cups, she is psychic level intuitive. She's, look at her gazing at her chalice like it's a crystal ball. So again, it's just a matter of being able to see what you need to see. And you can't do that if you're holding on to the things from the past or stuck in one place and not seeing eye to eye with others. So Sagittarius, thanks so much. Oh my gosh. Okay. The second spread. Yeah, we're going to talk about the North Node. That's a lot. So home and family stuff is going to be a big thing for you, but there's a lot of other stuff we're going to talk about. A lot of destined moments. Venus is even going to be there with, yeah. So again, a lot of like what your heart desires. And so tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. And I'm using the Tempest. I'm using the Tempest spread or deck. And yeah, next week is going to be a big week for you, Sagittarius, because I'm just going to give you a heads up. We are moving into Virgo season. We will have a new moon in Virgo. Like I said, you got something like really great to look forward to. If you are here for career or money or something here with career, money, or fame, which it seems like you are, yeah, a lot of y'all are. That's what Virgo rules for you. And so next week is going to be a big week, but you see how things are opening up for you. Yeah. And next week, Chiron is so active. So active. So again, a lot of like love and it just, there's we'll talk next week. All right. Sagittarius, thank you. And I think that's actually my computer at the door. Sagittarius, thanks so much. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.